In this lesson, we will present the circulatory system. We will discuss the role of the heart, blood, and blood vessels. What is your pulse rate? To check your pulse, place the tips of your index and middle finger on your wrist. Feel your pulse, and count the beats for 15 seconds. Then, multiply that number by 4 to find out how many times your heart beats in 1 minute. Where does this pulse come from? In this lesson, we will name and describe the main parts of the human circulatory system. We will also describe the role of the heart, blood, and blood vessels. What is the function of the circulatory system? The function of the circulatory system is to transport blood, oxygen, and nutrients to the body. What are the main parts of the circulatory system? The circulatory system has 3 main parts. These are the heart, blood vessels, and blood. The heart works as a pump to move the blood around the body. It has 4 chambers. 2 atria, these are the upper chambers, and 2 ventricles, these are the lower chambers. Right atrium. It is also known as the right auricle. Right ventricle. Left atrium. Also known as the left auricle. Left ventricle. Let's examine how blood flows through the heart. 1. The right atrium takes in blood carrying carbon dioxide. 2. Blood is squeezed down into the right ventricle and taken to the lungs, where oxygen replaces carbon dioxide. 3. Oxygen carrying blood from the lungs enters the left atrium. And 4. Blood is pumped into the left ventricle and starts its journey again throughout the body. Let's have a lesson check. Can you explain how blood flows through the heart with a partner, even without the diagram of the heart? Try explaining the process to your peer without referring to your notes. Here is a sample answer. This is a sample diagram of how blood flows through the heart. From the body, blood flows to the right atrium. This blood is rich in carbon dioxide. The blood then flows to the right ventricle and to the lungs. In the lungs, blood receives oxygen. It then flows to the left atrium. From there, blood is pumped into the left ventricle and starts its journey again throughout the body. The blood is a special fluid primarily contained within the blood vessels. It has 4 main components, namely red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and plasma. Red blood cells carry oxygen, nutrients, and wastes. White blood cells fight diseases and protect the body from infection. Plasma is the straw-colored liquid where the other components float in. Platelets gather at the site of injury and help the clotting process. When someone has a blood test, a small amount of blood is taken and kept in a tube for testing. To closely examine it, blood undergoes component separation. One common method involves spinning it at very high speeds in a centrifuge. The blood separates into plasma, white blood cells, platelets, and red blood cells. Blood is divided into its components, with the heaviest parts at the bottom. Blood vessels are tubes or channels that carry blood throughout our body. There are 3 types of blood vessels, namely veins, arteries, and capillaries. Each one differs in size and structure. Let's take a closer look at the 3 types of blood vessels. An artery has the thickest wall of all 3, allowing it to withstand the high pressure created by the heart. A capillary has the thinnest wall to allow substances such as oxygen and sugars to pass through its wall, into or out of the blood. A vein is less muscular and stretchy than an artery, so blood moves through it with low pressure. Veins have special valves that help blood flow in only one way. Blood vessels. Each type of blood vessel has a unique role in the circulatory system. An artery carries blood away from the heart. A capillary assists in the exchange of substances between the blood and tissues. A vein carries blood back towards the heart. Here is a tip. Remember, A for artery, and away from the heart. Lesson check. Let's learn about the sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease, SCD, is an inherited blood disorder. People with SCD have red blood cells that become hard and sticky, forming a C-shaped blood cell instead of the healthy disc-shaped one. Considering what you've learnt about blood and blood vessels, how does this shape affect blood flow in the circulatory system? Sample answer. The irregular shape of the sickle-shaped blood cell makes it easy to clog and block the blood flow. This can cause pain and other serious infections. A recap. The circulatory system delivers oxygen and nutrients to the body, while also removing wastes. The heart is a muscular organ that has 4 chambers. The heart pumps blood around the body. The blood has 4 components, namely plasma, red blood cell, white blood cell, and platelets. The blood carries oxygen, nutrients and wastes. The 3 types of blood vessels are arteries, veins, and capillaries. Blood vessels serve as channels for the blood. Write a short story titled, A Day in the Life of a Red Blood Cell. Write the story as though you were a red blood cell. Some guide questions you can use include the following. What do you look like? What is your job? Where are you found? Where do you travel from, and to?